Once upon a time in a little village called Edid, there was a loving couple named Abbasi and Aisha. They adored each other deeply, having been married for 12 wonderful years. Their home was filled with joy from their 5 beautiful daughters. However, their hearts yearned for a son to complete their family. Despite their wishes, no male child came into their lives. This desire for a son put Aisha in a difficult situation. Her mother-in-law and sister-in-law, whom we'll call Dee, became a source of misery for her. Dee, Abbasi's elder sister, was 59 years old and known for her troublesome and stubborn ways. After being chased away by her own husband years ago, she returned to her father's house and made Aisha's life a living nightmare. Aisha faced immense pressure from her husband's family, especially since her mother-in-law sided with Dee's cruel actions. Abbasi, Aisha's husband, lacked the courage to stand up to his mother and sisters. He felt torn between his loyalty to his family and his love for Aisha, leaving her to bear the burden alone. Every day, Aisha was reminded of her lack of a male child by Dee, who vowed to ruin Aisha's marriage if she didn't give birth to a son. Eventually, Aisha was forced out of the family home and into a small one-room apartment with her 5 daughters. She wasn't even allowed to cook in the family kitchen, facing discrimination at every turn. Their daughters weren't allowed to bear their father's surname, according to tradition, which deemed having only female children as useless. Dee, filled with hatred towards Aisha's daughters, made their lives miserable. She would taunt them, beat them, and forbid them from playing freely. Abbasi, unfortunately, turned a blind eye to this cruelty. Despite providing for his family's needs, he couldn't protect Aisha from his own mother and sister's torment. As the pressure mounted on Abbasi to abandon his wife and children, Dee's influence grew stronger. She filled Abbasi's mind with poisonous thoughts, urging him to neglect Aisha and marry someone else who could provide him with sons. Despite his love for Aisha, Abbasi felt torn and trapped. One fateful morning, as Aisha stepped out of her house, Dee confronted her, hurling accusations and calling her a witch. Overwhelmed with anger, Abbasi returned home to find his sister bullying his wife. In a fit of rage, he confronted and beat Dee, much to his mother's dismay. His mother, furious at Abbasi's actions, cursed him, accusing Aisha of bewitching him. Abbasi, troubled by the turmoil in his family, felt lost and frustrated. One evening, sitting in front of his hut, he came up with a desperate plan. Without a word to anyone, he packed his belongings and left for the city before dawn, hoping to find a solution far from the village's troubles. Days turned into weeks, and Aisha grew worried as Abbasi remained missing. Dee, noticing her brother's absence, pressured Aisha for answers. However, Aisha was clueless about her husband's whereabouts. Left alone with her daughters, she faced even more maltreatment from Dee and her mother-in-law. Despite the hardship, Aisha discovered she was pregnant. Mixed emotions filled her heart, fearing another daughter, but also hoping for a son to end their troubles. She kept her pregnancy a secret, finding solace when a messenger arrived with provisions and money from Abbasi. This small gesture gave her hope that her husband was alive and hadn't forgotten them. Months passed, and Abbasi's absence continued. Aisha's first daughter, Dadia, turned 13, facing pressure from Dee to marry early. Determined to protect her daughters, Aisha refused, standing firm against Dee's relentless demands. Finally, Aisha gave birth to a baby boy, bringing both joy and fear. Dee, seeing her brother's son, realized she had lost her leverage over Aisha. Distancing herself, Dee continued to enjoy the money Abbasi sent, while Aisha struggled to raise her children alone. Meanwhile, in the foreign land where Abbasi had fled, he remarried and forgot about Aisha and their children. Tragically, he fell ill and passed away, abandoned by his new wife. Aisha received the heartbreaking news, but couldn't afford to travel for his burial. Left to fend for herself, Aisha faced immense challenges. She borrowed money to survive, becoming known as a debtor in the village. Her friends turned their backs on her, and she became the subject of gossip and mockery. Determined to make a living, Aisha started a small vegetable trade. Slowly but steadily, her business grew, allowing her to send her children to school. Her daughters excelled, with Nadia becoming a renowned surgeon and the pride of the family. Years passed, and Aisha's children grew into successful, educated individuals. They showered their mother with love and care, fulfilling her dreams. Nadia, the eldest, married a wealthy businessman, and their second daughter earned a scholarship abroad. Together, Aisha and her daughters built the village's first luxurious supermarket, elevating their status. Aisha's story inspired many, especially women facing similar challenges. She became a symbol of resilience, proving that one's worth isn't defined by gender or circumstances. Despite the hardships she endured, Aisha found success and happiness through her unwavering determination. Her daughters, once labeled useless, became beacons of hope and inspiration for others. Aisha's legacy lived on as she empowered girls in the village to pursue education and dreams. In the end, Aisha's story teaches us the power of perseverance and the strength of a mother's love. No matter the obstacles, with determination and resilience, one can overcome any challenge and achieve greatness. Her tale remains a reminder that true worth lies in character and not in societal expectations. Kindly subscribe my channel African Folktales by NA for more interesting stories.